All right, Joe. Okay, with your host George.
Link. No. Nick. No.
Dan. Wait, Dan. You're usually last, right?
No, I don't know.
I'm the
Sock.
And Dan. I guess you could take
And
that.
Dan.
And Dan.
And Dan.
And Dan. And we're here to talk about. Before we get onto today's topic, I've never mentioned this, but it's been eating me away for years now. You look just like Joe from that show, You. Now that everyone can see you on video, I just been meaning to say that for like 5 or 6 years now.
Is that AI? Is he a robot?
It's a filter.
I think rage bait. That's crazy.
All right, so we said that we're going to be talking about a couple of books that we read as we outlined in our pilot episode for this new volume of the show. And today we're going to talk about a very popular film, but we read the book. We'll talk about both. Project Hail Mary. Okay, with the new thing, I don't really know how to transition.
I thought Gabe was gonna say something.
Me too.
Yeah, I know, but
I was just about to go back into the intro, so
He
okay.
juked me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he stepped up to the mic and then just went woo. Okay, I'm gonna start off with an icebreaker question. All right. If you woke up like Ryland Grace with no memory, what skill would you hope you still had?
Well, I'd be cooked. I'd be done. Or I can't really think of a skill that would help me in that situation. I mean, am I in his situation or am I?
No, you're in his. Okay, so you're not in his situation like the start. You just woke up and you've forgotten everything, but something you need for survival, something you know.
Okay. I don't know. That's a tough question. I guess.
I'm gonna say my martial arts expertise. That's gonna be my answer.
So you'd be cooked?
Wait, are you actually an expert in martial arts?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I don't know.
you don't have to be modest.
I don't remember.
You don't have to be modest. He did it. He did it as a kid. He did it as a kid, and he got pretty good.
Oh,
But then I think once you guys came to
Karate.
Miami, you guys were. stopped, right?
The thing is, I had to set it aside because I didn't like the places that it would take me.
Yeah, I guess. So. I get that.
You got a black uniform and then suddenly started breaking bones. Felt the power.
Yeah, you broke that kid's back one time, right?
And didn't you break that kid's wrist?
That's actually a true story. I broke a high schooler's wrist
oh my
at the
god!
tender age of 28.
Um,
In sports, it was in a sports setting.
A year ago, when did this happen?
It was in a
I didn't
sports
know. I
setting.
haven't heard this.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll talk. I'm pretty sure Dad has heard the story, but I like that you had to do the mental math and you were like 28. Wait a minute.
I was like,
Wait a
It's
second.
like last week.
I was like, he turns 20. I'm 30 soon. Well, that was like that's not even a year ago. Oh my god.
Okay. So back on track. What skill that you have that you would hold on to?
A skill that
Yeah.
I currently possess,
Yeah.
or a skill that I wish I had.
No, that you currently possess. My answer was bull.
Wait, what was your answer?
It was bull. It was the martial arts thing. I couldn't think of anything. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a tough question.
I can go. I thought of one.
Okay.
My skills as a video game pilot.
Okay. Video game pilot. That's good.
I thought you were gonna say your skills to operate and run a hospital
8 hospitals.
at the highest level.
One hospital. 8 hospitals.
CEO stuff right there.
Yep.
How'd you learn to pilot wings? What game did you play that taught you how to fly? he can't think of one.
Wing commander.
He's so good.
Wait. I played a couple.
Mario Kart.
Thank you.
Mario Kart when you're on the glider.
Yeah. When you go off the ramp and then
And you're on the
glide
glider?
momentarily.
Galactica.
What is
Galaga?
what is?
Oh, yeah.
Did you just think about that because of the shirt that he's wearing?
It's a Galaga. That man's playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice. Galaga?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Project Hail Mary, guys. So that's it. The gloves are off. This is only the icebreaker question, but we're getting right into it. Okay. So if you haven't seen it or read it, who cares? All right. Just let us tell you about
We're
it.
breaking backs. We're breaking wrists.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Royce Keys reference. All right. Yeah.
That's a jump.
And if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend going out. And I usually tell people, stop it here, go watch it, and then come back to it. But then they never do. So just listen to us talk about it. It's
Yeah.
fine. And then the movie will make more sense.
And I
when
mean,
you
we're
watch it.
currently. I'm probably gonna date this episode when we're doing it, but
You're gonna go out with it?
no, I'm spoken for.
Oh.
But I think that I know it might be hard, but like currently right now, what is in theaters right now, I don't think you should watch They Will Kill You. I know it'll be hard to resist that temptation. Zazie Beetz, I heard, is excellent and just phenomenal in that film. And I heard it got standing ovation, so much so that people
At
had to
Cannes,
walk out of the theater.
11 minutes.
But I do recommend Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch that movie, don't go watch Project Hail Mary. If you're gonna watch Super Mario Galaxy, don't if you haven't watched Project Hail Mary. But if you have watched Project Hail Mary, go watch Super Mario Galaxy.
Or don't. Like, your friends might tell you to go watch it. It might be a lot of fun. There might be jokes involved.
Yeah, they might message you about 3.5 pages worth of rationale why it's a worthy experience. But no, go watch Project Hail Mary.
It wasn't specific, but
It
if
wasn't.
the shoe fits.
Yeah. As a great man once said, let he who has ears listen and understand. So, so Julian is the only one who would volunteer. I think if it was up to, if they tell me it's just me, I'm sorry, I'm a coward.
I think if it's in his position, I personally think I'd be more like open to it.
Yeah.
Because there's literally no one else, and in the movie they don't really have another like option.
Right.
In the book, there's somebody else that they don't, which I thought was interesting. That the difference between the book and the movie, where they already have a person that is willing to do this, and the coma gene is they have the coma gene, but also I think Strat at that point had to determine like he was the true hope.
Yeah. Really quick, the coma gene is the gene that only a select people have, that they can do the interstellar travel. In the end, the rest of the crew dies anyways. But in case anyone doesn't know, there's only certain people that can go, and he's one of them. Go ahead, Julie.
But the extra person, I think he had like base level biology though, right?
Well, it wasn't base level. I think they were like,
I don't think they were a biologist.
they were a scientist, but they were
Yeah,
not
it was
trained
a woman.
in
It was a
astrophysics.
woman, but she didn't have the
Like
training
full,
or the
full
experience.
microbiology.
I have to correct.
Oh, okay.
You're saying him.
I'm just saying because you're saying
She was Paraguayan.
I'm sure she was just as what's the word I'm looking for? Equipped. Thank you,
Yes.
to do the job.
Oh yes, I was just saying I wanted it to be known
You
that
wanted
she
it to be
wasn't a
guy?
man. She was a woman.
Okay.
She was from Paraguay.
Yeah, it
Paraguay?
was. It was.
Yeah, I keep hearing people say Paraguay, so it's kind of
Yeah, it's fine. They're both acceptable. It's fine.
But no, like obviously,
Hawaii?
no, not as much experience as Grace had.
Right.
Which I get that. I get why Strat makes him do it.
Okay, so do you guys think, because this was a conversation, we just asked ourselves whether we would do it or not, and this was a conversation me and Gabriel had about whether it was cowardice or not, because Gabriel was kind of selling to me that he was a coward at the beginning, And I was like, is that cowardice though? Because I feel like I wouldn't make that sacrifice with my life. I mean, I guess maybe I'm a coward. Is Rylan a hero from the beginning, or does he become one?
He becomes a hero.
He becomes one.
I mean,
You're asking if he's a hero from when he's a teacher and they asked him about astrophage?
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah. You know what? I mean, I guess he is somewhat of a hero, right? Because he is the one that really breaks down astrophage to the point that it leads to the discovery.
I mean, he was the fastest, but who's to say someone else wouldn't?
Yeah, probably somebody else might have.
No, but I do think that he has, maybe not to the extent that he was to do what he did towards the end,
Right.
but I believe he's a hero because he doesn't want anything to do with it at first, but then he thinks about his students, he thinks about his kids, and decides, I have to do something for them. I have to help these people.
That's in the book?
Yeah.
Okay. Because they kind of go the other way in the movie, where
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, you don't care about your, that's an excuse.
He says that, but it's an excuse. But yes, in the book, like, he thinks about it. He's like, yeah, like, there's not going to be a world for them in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, I have to do this for them. I have to think of my kids. And I think that even just that initial, decision to go back and try, I think has the makings of a hero. And I mean, as we see, he's probably not at that level yet where he's going to go on this mission where, yeah, it's going to cost you your life, but you have the possibility of saving the world, So, I don't know.
So you don't know.
But also he becomes a hero because he loses his memory, so...
I think he had a hero's journey.
Go
He like
Go
has
ahead,
the confidence of like, okay, well, I was sent on this mission because I'm the only one that can do it at the beginning, right?
yeah, it's like a false.
Right.
It's like a false
confidence.
confidence.
But
he figures out how to speak to an entire alien race because of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but then that means it was in him the whole time.
yeah,
though.
exactly. That's
It
what
was
I'm
just-
saying. It's a
It was
false
his doubt and
confidence,
his.
Yeah, it's
but it was in him the whole time. I mean, to say he wasn't a hero from the start, I mean, yeah, I guess he was, and he was a teacher, and that in itself makes you a hero in a specific
Thank you.
type of way. You're welcome.
Thank you. I love to hear you say that.
But yeah, I mean, of course, there's some cowardice, and to be fair as well, he doesn't get much time to think about it. He gets a few hours tops, yeah. And I mean, I don't think anyone can make that decision in 5 hours. So I'm sure I can't blame him for not wanting to go, whether he's a hero or not. I mean, he put it in an impossible situation, regardless.
Yeah.
No, I do think, I mean, because we had that conversation after the movie, and I do think like it was cowardice. But it's not to say like, yes, I think we would all show cowardice in that moment, like with that decision to be made.
I mean, I think cowardice is a strong word. I think it's a human impulse for self-preservation. And I think what you said about the hero's journey, there's always that reluctance to go on the journey. Every hero is like, Luke is like, nah, but I got this farm, my family needs me. And every other hero is scared of taking that step, right? And I think we are too. Like every journey that we, like, am I going to go to school? What am I going to study? Am I going to enter the workforce career? Am I going to get married? All those decisions, it could be the thing you want and the thing you know is right. But there's that, like, I don't know, holding us back, that fear, that anxiety. And it's like Dan said, he's got 5 hours to figure it out. That kind of pressure, it makes you kind of prioritize your own preservation over what any of the greater good might be.
Yeah, but I also think we don't get to see, if she doesn't force him to go, and let's say like it plays out like he doesn't go, they select somebody else or they do it with somebody else. If he decides to change, because I mean the definition of a coward is a person who lacks courage or avoids danger, difficulties due to extreme fear. I think he's afraid. He has that extreme fear, so much so that he's like, he has that time to think. Obviously, not a lot of time, but he says no.
Yeah.
Like he decides, I'm not going. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna go. And to the point where like her hand is forced.
Yeah.
But he made that decision to not go, and I think that's cowardice.
Yeah. Actually, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, and I'm glad that you brought that up. But we're actually going to focus on that decision. I just wanted to know, if you're not given the choice, he wasn't really given the choice, right? They took the choice away from him.
Yeah.
If you're not given the choice, how much can we really know whether he wouldn't have just reversed his course of decision? You have to let a choice sit on itself, because he could have said no, gone home, and been like, no, I can't live in this world. Had that whatever moment or experience that's going to drive him right back to the mission. But we never are given that.
Which, yeah, I mean, and you even see a hint, like an example of that in the book.
Yeah.
When, like what I mentioned before, Strat comes to him, he's like, I want nothing to do with this. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye. And then he thinks about the kids, and he's just like, okay, I have to do some things. And he comes back. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't get the decision towards the end, but at the beginning, we see that he's capable of it.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't want to label him a coward as, like, a definitive, you know.
No, you hate him.
That's what
you
he
hate
is.
him.
But that's coward. I think he demonstrated cowardice.
Okay. All right. And we're kind of starting at the ending, which is the beginning, which is the first thing that I think we should talk about. And it is the plot and its structure. So how did the memory recovery structure affect your experience, both in the book and throughout the film?
Take it away, F-boys.
Well, I mean, kind of gave us that false confidence in him that he had in himself. The whole time you're assuming, okay, he's the hero, he's the guy, he stepped up. How is he going to step up?
He's him.
Yeah, the whole time you're wondering what moment he's going to decide or what situation is going to put him in the position where he has to make that choice. And then, of course, big reveal, he never does. And that's a big shock for him and us at the same time. And that's a reveal you can only get with this structure.
Yeah. Did you think it built suspense throughout the narrative, or was it disorienting at any time?
The flashbacks?
Yeah.
I think.
The going back and forth, right?
Well, I'm gonna speak from I'm the flashback hater, so I did not feel that.
Okay.
I didn't feel that way in this one. I felt like it definitely added to the narrative. It added, you know, especially because it starts so mysterious, but they do a good job of balancing it, where I feel like, okay, I'm being dropped into part of the story now, because these are like key points that I need to know before going into the present of the story. So I felt like it was.
This is the book or the movie you're speaking of? Sorry.
The book.
Okay.
So I felt like it was.
This show's about the book.
Much.
I don't know. We were talking about the movie.
I mean, okay. First of all, I think the movie's in like everyone's consciousness because it's very popular right now. And also, full disclosure, I read this last year. You guys just read this, so I probably remember the movie a little better than I do the book. But, anything else, Julian?
I lost my train of thought.
You think it fit the narrative structure?
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. So it felt like easy to listen to. But it felt like it helped me move the narrative along. It gave, like Danny said, it gave me that sense of like, well, when is he gonna step up? Like, when in the past story is he gonna be the guy that says, okay, it's gonna be me? Or part of me was like, well, what's gonna happen? Why is it him that's being sent if we like are seeing all these other characters? I don't know if that kind of feeling hit in terms of the movie as much, because, you know, after talking about it with my wife who watched it with me, I didn't feel like she
hadn't read the book.
Yeah, I hadn't read the book. I don't feel like she got that. Like, I felt like the surprise wasn't as shocking to her as it was to me in the book. I felt like I was listening to it and I was driving to work, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, no, it was not his decision. And it was like kind of like this, like, wow.
I think a big part of that is the length of the medium. I think
yeah, absolutely.
That's true too.
In a way, we were, you know, with Ryland Grace for, I think, 20 hours. It's much different, and then you're kind of in his mind the entire time, remembering.
Yeah, and 20 hours is like weeks in your real life, right?
Exactly.
You're spread out. It's not like you're sitting there for 20 hours, right? You've been reading this for several weeks, you know, and
you know,
now you're living with Ryland. Yeah.
Exactly. You're going throughout your day. It's in the back of your mind. So the shock with the book, I mean, that's why I'm glad we went with the book first, because the shock was much greater. because this whole time you're wondering it for this. I mean, how long did it take us? About a month to get through the book.
Yeah, I think
That's a
so.
whole month.
That is a good. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just the medium really enhances that surprise. And I think the medium for the book, I mean, we get more flashbacks. We get a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just something you can't fit in a movie. And that's like the sacrifice. What do you cut for the movie?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you deem worthy enough to kind of bring into those 2 hours that you have to tell this very detailed story? I mean, I think they made the right cuts. I think having Andy Weir there was a great decision. I think it was great, but you do miss some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think, or maybe I did, but I didn't think about that after I watched the movie, because I watched the movie like 3 times, and I remember after the first time,
And you were still able to squeeze in Super Mario Galaxy?
yeah. I just didn't have time for They Will Kill You. So I'm not bummed about that, but no, I remember after watching the movie, I had the thought of like, obviously, the first time you watch it and you read the book first and then the movie, you think about differences, and you can kind of be a little bit more critical in that aspect. Not necessarily that it's bad, but it's like the differences are outlined, and I mean, we had this whole conversation, but like in the book club chat, where it's like, obviously, like you just said, Danny, the medium is different. The amount of time, it's not possible. And I think they made the right decisions. I agree with you there. But for me, one of the things that I thought initially was, man, I wonder what it would have been like to watch this movie first and then read the book. Because not knowing anything and getting that movie experience would have been... I mean, I got the movie experience, but like knowing nothing about the original material, and then experiencing that movie with how beautiful it is, the sound design and everything, I think would have been. It's a different experience. Yeah, and I think that's another special experience that I think a lot of people have gone to partake in, and then that led them to the book. Yeah,
right. Because
I think.
Sorry, I mean,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because at the end of the day, you can only pick one way to experience it the first time.
Yeah.
Right? So
exactly.
You have to decide.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. For the video viewers, accidental 6-7. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. One or the other.
There's gonna be one of those every episode.
No.
Watch somehow.
One or the other. You have to choose.
The differences is what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny, go ahead.
That was it.
Yeah, well, because life's about choices, and we should try to avoid the FOMO of it, because at the end of the day, they're both great experiences. Wow, what an amazing movie. I want to dig deeper. That happened to me with The Martian. I read Andy Weir, the author's, the first novel that I read of his was The Martian, because I had watched the movie, loved it, then did a deep dive and was like, oh, wow, the book gives you even more. Doing the inverse gives you the richest novel experience, but then, like you said, now you're trying to be critical, and you watch it several times to kind of turn that off.
The second time, I enjoyed it so much more. I was able to, because even the first time, like, we were in New York, and I was able to get, like, snag tickets, luckily, in the 70 millimeter IMAX. Like, they don't have those everywhere. I was like, this is an opportunity. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
But it was also right after Play that we had watched.
Yeah. It was also at like 11 o'clock at night.
The showing was at like 10:45.
Yeah. So that means after trailers, it was like 11:15.
It's New York,
which means it's done at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's New York. You gotta walk there.
Yeah.
You gotta do all these things. But
neither is Gabriel.
But it's like I enjoyed it because
in New York.
Obviously, I was still riding the high off the book, and I'm like, this is gonna come out a little bit early. I get to watch it before most people get to watch it.
No, it was the right call.
And in this format experience for sure. And my girlfriend I hadn't read the book, or she started to read it, but she didn't get very far. And so we watched the movie, and she loved it. And she was telling me like, oh,
now she hates the book.
No, she finished the book finally.
Oh, why'd they change so much stuff from the movie?
But she was the thing. because this is the initial thought that I had once the movie had started, was like the first like chapter of the book is over in the movie in like 2 seconds.
Literally.
And she's like, I thought I had gotten like far enough in the book, and then I started and then I, then the movie started, and like 5 minutes in, it's like we already passed whatever I read.
Yeah.
And so, but all that to say, like, I thought the experience was great because we were able to do that together, watch the movie, then leave, and then like go have a pizza like 2 in the morning in New York City, And
to be young again.
that experience was awesome, but also like we were tired. And so the second one was more chill. I got to do it back home in Dolby, which is, it's up there, man, in formats. But it was also such a much more enjoyable experience, I think. And getting to watch it with you, I think for the first time, is when you watched it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't drag my wife to the 3:00 in the morning showing. It's okay.
That's fair.
How does a novel balance hard science with emotional storytelling? You guys think the scientific?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can I go back to the flashback thing? Quick?
Sure. Ignore that, listeners.
No, we'll go back to it. I did want to make a point about the flashbacks, where when we go, obviously in the movie we don't get as much, but the flashbacks really added suspense for me, like mystery, and like going back in the book, there was times where I'm like, okay, like I'm enjoying reading while we're on space, and then it would take a break, and then we'd go to the flashbacks back on Earth, and it was kind of like these two stories,
like disparate journeys.
Yeah, going around the same time, and like it was reminding me like them, Earth trying to figure out how they're gonna like produce everything they're gonna do for this mission. It reminded me a lot of World War Z.
A great novel.
In terms of like it is.
I refuse.
In terms of like a global event and the actual like logistics of how to get things done or things that occurred to react to a global event, which I enjoyed so much of that aspect. But the twist about like
what you're saying is you wish there was more World War Z in Project Hail Mary.
Yes, the book World War Z.
Yeah.
I think we got enough. I wasn't expecting that. But the twist at the end about him being like, that coward, I was driving home at night and I had a moment like
you cried.
I almost cried. I was like, oh my gosh. And then there's other moments that we'll get to that we talked about. But I just wanted to say that about the flashbacks. I think in the novel they were very well used, and I think the times that he chooses to break divulge more information from his past was very well done.
Well, actually, since you went to the flashback, a question that I meant to ask Julian was, you mentioned very quickly that you're not a fan of flashbacks in general. Why is that?
Well, it's just I feel like I'm not a fan of flashbacks more so I guess in a book format. I just think it depends.
Elaborate.
Well,
So
audio.
there's a specific
audio.
novel on your mind.
Galactica.
I was like,
Galactica.
Specific to stories of your life.
One example.
One example.
Oh. He was like, I've read 5 books, right? And there's one that I hate. And it had flashbacks.
Time is challenging.
No, but I just felt like it was done much better. But obviously, it's a more fleshed out book, so it's I don't know. It's
Okay.
stories of your
All right.
life. Just
So,
it was jarring.
We'll
Okay,
get
it
more
wasn't
into
done.
that
It wasn't done
Yeah.
gracefully.
in another episode. We'll
yeah.
No, that's gonna be the theme. Like we're just gonna have that in the show the whole season. It's just gonna be Julian tossing shade or us talking about how much he hates that book.
You know what? Maybe I should flash back to this moment multiple times.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be the
Insert it.
intro actually.
Yeah, that's the intro every episode. It starts. Okay, so going back, does the novel balance hard science with emotional storytelling? How'd you feel about the inclusion of science? And
I loved it. Honestly, that was one of the things that I felt I was the most critical about in the movie.
yes,
The entire time, all I could think of was like, why aren't they explaining the science?
yeah,
Like, that's
explain
what-
it to us.
Explain it to everybody. Nobody understands. So like that's one of the things that I felt I was the most critical about. That I had to at moments I have to tell myself, okay, turn the brain off, because you're like I'm not enjoying the movie as I should. So like I kept telling myself, no, stop. They can't add all
Now
the
you know that
science.
feeling, huh?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't want to be that guy anymore.
Too late. We're doing that every
It's too
single movie coming soon. So.
Yeah, yep. Wisdom comes with a burden, my friend.
All my
It's a
mind-
critical mindset.
I'll tell you what. I came out of that movie and I sat there. I was like, oh man, this Bourne is gonna be interesting. Like I just couldn't. It's like, dang,
That's
this is like,
can of worms.
and this is like that's like a book. It's almost like it's like what really. I don't know. It's just for me. It's like
It's your favorite.
yeah, it's my favorite. So it's very near and dear. So now I'm like actually really nervous. But
Yeah.
That was very
Welcome
critical.
to the club, buddy.
Yeah.
Every time they announce an adaptation, I'm always like, all right.
Nah, that's like 9 out of 10 times I see anything because everything is an adaptation nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like, every time. I can't even enjoy like an Avengers movie because I'm like, well, then people don't understand. They're like, why'd you go watch it 2 or 3 times? I was like, because I can't even enjoy it till like the third time. I'm still deciding whether I liked it the second time. But
Yeah, I'm worried about that Galaga movie.
I think they're gonna do a great job. I think I've heard them talk about division, and I think they're definitely gonna go vertically. Right, that's how Galaga operates. So as long as I think they stick to the core mechanics,
meant to be truly seen on a phone.
yeah, yeah,
The medium
that's gonna
really
be the cut that I want.
influences, the experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, I honestly, and I think they picked the perfect director. Zack Snyder's Galaga is gonna be excellent. As long as he shoots it in black and white and vertically.
Galaga is great.
All right.
Space is great.
It is. That's true. Do you think knowledge is portrayed as power, responsibility?
Oh wait,
or
hold
burden?
on. I want to go back to your previous question about the science.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just trying to rush
Yeah,
through.
man. What's going on? You trying to rush the episode?
I got a lot of questions,
It's a
buddy.
lot, it's a lot.
It's okay. This will be a 4-part episode. I hope you guys like Project Hail Mary because it's going on all month.
I was just gonna mention
we're a bit
real
over
quick. I heard someone. I was watching a Hank Green video recently, and he called the science in the book a character, and I felt like that was a really good way to put it.
Oh.
Because the science in the book is just such a driving force. Like you go Grace to the science, to Grace explaining the science. It did kind of feel like there was a little piece missing, almost like there was a character missing from the movie. And I know you can't take the time, but man, having him break down the science, and Andy Weir does a great job at making things digestible.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, am I kind of understanding?
When I started listening to a book, I was
I
like,
think I can go clip the like a
Am I
master's in
rocket
physics.
science?
yeah.
I'm like, is he a great teacher or is this BS?
I started off that book going, oh boy, I don't know. This is a lot of numbers. I can't even understand what you're saying. End of the book, I'm a physicist. I'm a microbiologist. That's
Send me. That's why Julian's the only one willing to go on the mission.
It isn't rocket science. It isn't rocket science.
He's like, put me in, coach. Put me in, Straff.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for someone to tell me it isn't rocket science next time.
No, but
It isn't rocket science. It'd be easier if it was. I'm good at that.
I read a book,
read a book once.
or I listened to a book.
Okay. So I think you guys would agree that it enhanced the narrative, right? It didn't slow it down at all.
Not at all. I think
Not
it
at
was
all.
part of the narrative. It was a driving force.
No, it was. I think it's one of the strengths of the book.
Absolutely.
More than not necessarily more, but I think it's as
No,
big.
you
as-
said what you said more.
I think it's as big a factor of like that human feeling or that human emotion that emotional weight that's carried throughout the book of like on the like a civilization on the edge of extinction, a planet on the edge of extinction,
I also feel like
and the weight that he carries through that. But it's very like it's ones and zeros to get there. To save ourselves, like it's not powers, it's not superhuman abilities, it's the ability to
It's the human
think,
mind.
it's the ability to learn.
Oh, you guys want to save humanity? Oh, then maybe you're going to have to depend on the people that paid attention in school, idiots.
Like it's not necessarily like a question of biggest muscles or all these things that would you
It's
would
not
think,
Armageddon.
Yeah. It's not the 90s.
Right. At
The
the end
miners
of the
aren't
day,
gonna go save us.
the human mind, the way humans adapt, the way we have to work together, our greatest strength. That's kind of the star there, and I love that about the book.
Yeah. So, and this kind of goes into what Julian said about like kind of being burdened of the knowledge going into the movie. Is knowledge portrayed as power, responsibility, or burden?
All three.
Portrayed as power, responsibility.
Yeah, how do you think knowledge is portrayed in
And
the
a what?
novel? Power, responsibility, or a burden?
With great power comes great responsibility.
I think
Knowledge
it
is
was-
power.
And
I think it was a responsibility.
and according to Peter, a great burden too, right?
yeah, exactly. And it's all three.
I mean,
especially
think
in the
all of them.
book.
Yeah. I think if you're able to do it, then you have a responsibility to use it. And I think there's always going to be a cost, right?
Yeah. I mean, wait, like say it again. Repeat what you said.
I think that when you get knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
it empowers you, but then you have a responsibility to use it for good, and that's always going to come at a cost.
No, exactly. It's the same way as like you look at superheroes and their abilities. You know, like we don't have necessarily superhuman abilities, but we have the power to learn. We have the power like to contain knowledge for whatever we do in life. You know.
Yeah.
And whatever we choose to do, hopefully, I mean, the way that I lead my life is like I want to help people with the knowledge that I've, gained. And so I think that is the superhuman ability in a sense, where it's like whatever you learn, whatever you decide to do with your life or the things that you decide to learn, use it for the benefit and service of other people, I think is a noble effort. And I also think that in a book that is so real, like obviously, like it makes it sound like it's
super
possible,
realistic, yeah.
It's not, it does sound like it's possible
Yeah.
because they're throwing so much science at you,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds I don't know the difference or whatever, but it's like
It's convincing.
interstellar travel and all these other things.
Right.
Um,
I think that's the beauty of science fiction, right? When it like sells you on the science where you're like, I know there's not aliens, and I know we're not gonna make it to Tal Ceti, we're not gonna make it that far, but maybe because like if we can dream it, we can do it.
yeah, because it all like truly lends to the experience of escaping. While what a lot of this media does for us is provide us an escape, and so it's nice to see that how he solved these, like he was literally solving problem after problem, even after new things came, like unpredictable things, like things that you couldn't have seen coming. It's just he finds a way to center himself and work the problem and continue to go on from there. And I love that about the book. I love that about the movie. And I forgot the last part I was going to say.
Oh man,
so
you were
continue.
right there, man.
Continue. I'll remember it.
You're like his and hers. You fumbled on the 1 yard line.
Fumble.
What about you guys?
I mean, I think that. I think that's a great point. What Gabe said. I think there's this really interesting dynamic with having Astrophage be the villain and the key to interstellar travel. Like it's like a global event, but if they solve it, they have the key to becoming interstellar. So it's like this interesting dynamic where they have to use essentially the enemy of the story.
Well,
I got distracted when you guys were whispering.
Oh, I'm
Mid-sentence.
You-
No, he
sorry.
like mouthed Interstellar,
yeah.
the movie. That,
Gabe was always looking for an opportunity to talk about
and
Interstellar.
then I was like trash. Sorry. Go ahead. Did you lose your train of
I
thought?
lost it.
I was gonna say
Video was a mistake.
that my train came back in the station. It was a Peter quote, like how you're talking about
Peter Parker?
Yeah. How you're talking, and I've said it before, where it's like in Civil War, when Tony comes to see him for the first time, and he says, he gains his ability, talks about it. He's like, when you can do the things that I can do, and then the bad things, and you don't, and then the bad things happen, they happen because of you. I think it is power, but it is a burden because in a way, you now have a responsibility to help, to act.
Yeah.
Because then if not, then it kind of is on you because you had the ability to either stop or, protect or solve something.
Yeah. And I think it's a burden to act. It's a burden not to act, too, because that comes with consequences. Not using your knowledge, not using the power that it provides responsibly, it has its detriments, not just to society as a whole, but you as the individual as well. Would you guys agree that science is the real hero of the story? Agree or disagree?
Rocky's the real hero.
I mean,
We haven't even talked about Rocky.
We will talk about Rocky, but let's take a pause on this note. Do you think science is who's the hero to you?
Humanity and our will to survive.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think science is a tool, but I don't think that it in itself has the answer, right? It's that, and we always get to this, the hope that lies inside of each and every one of us, even if some of us don't see it, even if some of us don't show it. I think that it is innate inside of us to kind of desire more and to desire community and to desire survival. And I think that we use things like knowledge and science and all these tools at our disposal in order to ultimately connect with one another and protect one another. And I think that's our impulse. And I think that's ingrained in Ryland. I think it's ingrained in Rocky. And I think it's ingrained in each and every one of us. And on that note, I actually want to pause here and kind of stop the discussion. Next week, we're going to continue talking about the characters, and we'll get into Rocky, just like you said, the ethics and sacrifice of the story, and the themes and the big ideas. But we'll give you a break for now, and next week, we'll keep searching Project Hail Mary.